Many people are not aware of this, but narcissistic abuse can take its toll not only on the victim's mental health, but on their physical health as well. The ever-draining abuse can start causing physical harm that isn't a result of violence, such as stomach pain, digestive problems, headaches, or even sleep deprivation or insomnia. Many victims believe they are becoming constantly ill when it is really their body shutting down from the overload of stress. This video will help anyone with recovery and to build immunity to narcissistic abuse. These tips and tricks will be crucial for you or a loved one who has or is currently facing hard times with emotional trauma or stress from an abuser. Victims can and have made themselves immune to narcissism in intimate relationships, work settings, and even amongst family members. Remember, growing immune does not mean beating your abuser. It means fighting them within. So grab a seat, get your blanket, and get comfortable. You will want to stay till the end and hear these useful tactics on how to build immunity to narcissistic abuse. Number 1. Resistance to gaslighting. As many people know, gaslighting is the main form of abuse from narcissists. Gaslighting is when the abuser attempts to alter their victim's perception of reality. Their end goal is to have the victim rely solely on them for all forms of the truth in their lives. Building an immunity to this can be hard, but a way to start is first detecting when the abuse is occurring. The victim can see this when the abuser is doing something wrong, gets called out on their actions, and shifts the blame to the victim to take themselves out of the corner. Immunity to this includes consciously becoming aware of the situation and backing out of the fight, instead of giving the abuser the ability to accuse and argue, validating yourself and creating empowerment in the relationship. Inform the abuser that you are in charge of your life and you are aware of your reality. The abuser usually expects the victim to go along with whatever it is they have said, so showing resistance to their abuse will throw them off. Other forms of immunity include self-growth. This can include starting or continuing enjoyable hobbies, journaling to sort out the trauma and emotions, and the victim slowly removing themselves from the person. This can include spending more time with friends or family. If the abuse is occurring at work, this can mean requesting a transfer or looking for a better opportunity somewhere else. If the abuse is happening with a parent or sibling, find more outdoor or out-of-the-home activities to buy time till you can safely remove yourself from the situation. Number 2. Detach yourself from negative comments. Engaging in an argument or lashing out against the abuser only keeps the cycle going. Many narcissists feed off the victim's emotional outrages and then proceed to gaslight or critique them for having anger issues. Most of the time, the victim is pushed to their limits, then criticized for responding in an appropriate way. One of the best ways to build immunity from constant criticism is to emotionally and physically detach oneself from the situation. Choosing to reject engagement gives the victim the power in the situation. Silence can be a golden tool against a narcissistic person. Giving them silence when they make their accusations is just as loud as the act of arguing back. Narcissistic people look to light a fire under the victim's feet, and simply putting it out when it is small denies the abuser what they want: a fight. Another immunity builder can be creating a safe space in one's own head where you can filter out the negativity from your abuser. You can control what goes on in and out of there. The victim has a power that the abuser can never see or touch. Many specialists also recommend regular exercise and a cleaner diet to help keep the balance in the victim's life. Balance and consistency is key to building that immunity for the simple fact that you need strength and a clear mind to fight against the abuse. Number 3. Boost your self-esteem. Narcissistic people have a tendency to pick romantic partners, employees, or parts of the family that are or appear to be the weakest link. They pick people who have lower self-esteem and experience self-doubt, so that they will end up completely relying on the abuser to help them function in life. They will come to the abuser when they look for advice on big financial or career decisions. The victims believe that their abuser is looking out for them, and their constant criticism is them being helpful. What victims have to see is that loved ones are not there to constantly criticize, but to offer encouragement and advice. One way to build an immunity to constant belittling is to realize your own self-worth and increase your self-esteem. Developing your self-esteem does not always mean your outside appearance, but the confidence in your choices. Repeatedly tell yourself that you will make the right choices to suit your needs. The abuser cannot control something that is already controlled by someone else. Once the victim starts to see the narcissistic traits in someone and their attempt to control, they can step back from the situation and evaluate what the abuser has been controlling and what they need to fix. By the way, if you're finding this video valuable so far, then make sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and why not subscribe so you can keep learning more? It's free. Number 4. Telling them no. This may seem like a small word, and we say it so much, but to a narcissist, this word is big. Narcissistic people are not used to rejection, and the word has a big impact on the way they function. The key to telling a narcissist no is making sure you're firm but respectful. The tone the victim uses and their body language has a lot to do with the abuser's reaction. The victim will always want to seem like their mind's made up and they cannot be persuaded, but also tell them that they have heard them and they do respect what they have to say. Persistence is key to winning the battle, and it will help the victim become confident that they can overcome these hard times. A victim who stands their ground will have to prepare for and overcome the consequences that sometimes go with saying no. Many times there is name-calling, criticism, bullying, and attempts to change the victim's mind. They are looking for flexibility in a victim, not firmness. Number 5. Talk to others in similar situations. No one will understand what victims are going through more than someone else who has been in the same situation. It is important to have a strong support system in the victim's life and to find a group who have dealt with the same problems as the victim. Usually, services such as group therapy can offer tips and advice that can help the victim start on the path to healing. Many times people find it hard to talk to loved ones due to a biased nature towards the victim and find it easier to talk to someone they don't know personally. Of course, it can be the complete opposite, and that is okay too. Number 6. Take responsibility for your own flaws. As mentioned before, narcissists look for partners, employees, friends, or whoever appears to have low self-esteem. That can be extremely hard to fix in a person, and abusers are aware of that. The abuser takes the flaws they see in the victim and glorifies them to make them a bigger deal to the victim. The victim then begins to feel that the abuser is the only one who will love them and their flaws. One important step towards developing immunity is taking responsibility for all your flaws that your abuser mentions to bring you down. This takes away the power of the abuser. They can't control their self-esteem if they don't have it in their hands anymore. It can be important to say all of the flaws out loud and say that the flaws are okay to have and to embrace them. Number 7. Accept that not everyone will believe you. Narcissists can be really convincing. They convince the victim to be with them for so long. One immunity tip to follow and keep in mind is that not everyone is going to believe you about the abuse. There are times when loved ones around the victim will not accept that the abuser is really doing all of the things the victim is claiming, saying, "I have known them for so long, they would never do a thing like that." Or, "Maybe you are exaggerating a little." It happens, and it can be hard to accept when hearing words like these. Just like the relationship, it is time to take out factors and people in the victim's life that are not in the corner supporting them. It can be hard, but it is for the best. Many times the people who are backing the narcissist are being lied to and abused as well and do not even know it. True narcissists can have more than one victim at a time. If one victim finds themselves backing away from their abuser, the narcissist will ensure that all of their other victims turn on the straying one as well. The victim, through education and relying on loved ones who are on their side, will learn not to hate the ones who will not believe them, but understand their point of view. They will have to open their eyes when they are ready. And if you like this video, then check out these related videos to see more. And make sure to like this video to let the algorithm know you'd like to see more videos like these.